This is Bucket Talk, a weekly podcast for people who work in the trades and construction that aren't just trying to survive, but have the ambition and desire to thrive. The opportunity in the trades and construction is absolutely ridiculous right now. So if you're hungry, it's time to eat. We discuss what it takes to rise from the bottom to the top with people who are well on their way and roll up their sleeves every single day.
All right, on this episode of Bucket Talk, we're here with Bryce Sparks, aka Whiskey Biz. Bryce, welcome.
What's up, dude? How you doing?
Good. Just came out to a NASCAR event with us. You enjoyed yourself?
Dude, yeah, that was freaking awesome, man. It was a perfect date. Brought my old lady with me, you know what I mean? And you guys threw her up there in the box and let her run the show pretty much. So yeah, it was awesome. We had a blast.
Hell yes. Glad to have you on the podcast. You come from a trades and construction background. Kind of want to go as far back as you want to go and how you got your start and peel back the curtain from where you are today.
That sounds good, dude.
So, high school, you want to run me through what made you make your decision to get into the trades?
Yeah, dude. So, I never was, I made it through high school, right? But didn't care for like anything that really took, I'm hands-on, you know what I mean? I didn't want to be there doing, algebra and shit, you know? So I was like, from early ages, hands-on. I didn't have any patience for anything. I didn't want to sit and learn anything, you know? I just wanted to build stuff and do stuff. So yeah, I graduated high school, I wanted to build motorcycles is what I wanted to do. And my dad basically was like, dude, you are not going to do anything fun, anything cool like that and make money, right? It was kind of like, I remember kind of like the OCC stuff was kind of popping, like chopper stuff was kind of popping. And I was like, I think it'd be cool. Like, I didn't have a motorcycle, never rode a motorcycle other than some dirt bikes, but I wanted to build like ATVs, dirt bikes, make the cool side of the stuff I liked, you know, off-road stuff. And he's like, bro, you're just like, realistically, you're not going to do that stuff and make money. So I went into the HVAC. I went to technical college for almost 2 years, graduated from that, and started doing service work almost immediately. I was doing installs and stuff like that, mainly residential stuff. And then basically right out of there, got a job, was doing that, and then started learning how to weld and fabricate from basically a sister company at the company I was working for. They did more of the industrial side of things, and these guys were telling me how much money they were making, right? So I'm like, man, I'm making like $20 an hour, you know, if I'm lucky, and then I try and sell a guy a filter for another $5, you know what I mean? Like, so I was like, let's get into like, so I took like after hours and stuff, like the guys would be staying late, like welding on derby cars or whatever. And I kind of learned, you know, after hours how to do that type of stuff. And next thing you know, I'm working with those guys and I'm on the road as a welder and, you know, doing all different types of, blue collar shit. So
that's crazy. So what drove you to make the decision to go into the HVAC industry?
Well, I wanted cool shit. I wanted nice shit. I wanted to be able to, you know, go buy a new truck, put a big lift on it, do stuff like, and I saw my dad, you know, working a blue collar job. He was a union electrician for a long time until he started his own company. But I saw that like he came home dirty, you know what I mean, from work, and you know, and still went out. He didn't want to work, but he still went out and mowed the yard and shit, and worked really hard. And I mean, we had a good life, you know what I mean? He had a nice truck. We had a pretty nice house he was remodeling, you know. It was just like, I found out pretty early on, like if I wanted those nice things, I was going to have to go out and get it. And so that's kind of what pushed me into, I guess that really was just, and it also made sense, right? Like heating and air, like people need that. Like you can't live without it. So it's going to be around forever.
Oh yeah. So then you moved into welding. You like that? You're welding on equipment and stuff. Did you ever open up your own shop? Did you ever move into fabrication on your own? Like how did that progression happen?
Yeah, man. So the company that I went to work for is my family business. So
Okay.
my dad and I started a company. Basically, he had an LLC, but really wasn't doing much with it. He had like him and another buddy were doing some stuff, and then I basically became a part of it. We started growing it. I ended up getting equity in the company and stuff like that. We grew it into something pretty large, and it's still a very successful, good company today.
Yep.
So I pretty early on, just a few years into it, started getting into where I was like kind of running the show a little bit. I mean, but at the same time, I'm 21 years old, you know what I mean? So I was running like the jobs and shit, but I didn't have a clue what I was doing on the business side of things. That's where my dad kind of ran that for the most part, or hired somebody, accountants and stuff to handle that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
kind of crazy. The business side of things is where a lot of us struggle. I mean, some people have the knack for it, but like, did you see yourself growing in that area? Did you resource around it? Because you obviously run a couple of successful companies now.
Yeah, yeah.
How are you? Did you just resource around it, or did you actually start to get that business savvy and then started learning?
I'm a huge fan of just surrounding myself with people way smarter than me. So for the longest time at the company, like my company that I'm a part of, I was one of the lower paid dudes because I would hire these people that were just badass, whether it's badass welders or secretaries or whatever it may be, engineers.
Yep.
I wanted to be in a room full of people smarter than me and working for me. I own a machine shop now that I can't program a CNC machine at all, but I have 8 guys that can. You know what I mean? So I outsourced that and surrounded myself with those types of people that could do that.
Yeah.
As far as like I know how to make the money. Like I know where there's a need, and I'm good at coming up with a solution. But as far as the actual logistics of it, that's where it kind of takes me back to like my high school mentality. Like that's not me. I'm going to go get the money. Here's the money. Do it. Put it where it needs to go. Pay who we need to pay to keep everything moving.
No, and that makes sense. I mean, a lot of times it would take you more time, which time equals money. So you're actually losing out on money that you could potentially make doing what you're good at, and obviously equate that money that would be spent in that direction and spend it towards somebody who knows what they're doing and resource around it. No, I mean that's a good perspective. I know there's a couple of guys up here that I run with that have their own businesses and they outsource a lot of the accounting or what have you.
Yep.
I mean, because it ends up being a full-time job to do it all. And more props to the guys that can do it all themselves, but then it becomes 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
No doubt.
So how'd you get into racing and UTVs and kind of some of the shit that you're doing now? Where did Whiskey Biz come from?
All right. So I started a party bus company, and we called it Whiskey Business. And the name Whiskey Business came because I already had a couple other successful companies moving, machine shop, welding company. Started getting into some real estate. Like we were doing okay without the party buses. And my insurance guy, he just kept telling me how risky this company was. This is a risky business you're getting yourself into. Like, because we were paying outlandish freaking prices for party buses, dude. It's nuts. If you can, and I will say this too to anybody that thinks, oh yeah, we want to go get a party bus and get that shit going. Well, insurance is. If you can afford the insurance, you can make it. Because it's very expensive. You're hauling around just drunk people. You know what I mean? Now, whether they slip and fall or whatever, there's just a big risk there. And so that's stuck in my head. And we almost called it Risky Business. And then we're like, well, we're hauling around drunk people. How about Whiskey Business? And that's where the name came. When I went to make all the platforms, on the social media, because that's kind of what. At least the route that I went, every time I created a company, we would go get the socials going. It's the cheapest marketing you can get and effective. So I went to type in Whiskey Business, and that was taken on like everything because there's bars and all companies that I don't know sell whiskey. I already had those names, So I landed, and Whiskey Business Party Bus to me was too long. So we ended up on Whiskey Biz, and the name stuck ever since. And that's kind of where we're at now.
That's crazy. So do you still operate the party bus, or is that a thing of the past?
About a year, probably going on 2 years now. I sold it actually to my uncle because when my social media stuff about 4 years ago really kind of started popping, about probably pushing 5 years, 4 or 5 years now. I told him, I'm like, hey man, I'm looking for drivers. I'm needing help, whatever. So he ran it for me for at least a year, and then I got to the point, then I was still getting calls and I was still getting stuff going with it. And it was a successful business, but I just had this passion about making videos and building these things and doing these skits that I didn't have with the buses. And so something had to give. And I told him I was going to sell it. And he goes, hey, man, just give me a couple months. I'll get the money together. And it was really awesome because I got to sell it to him. So I'm not really involved in it, but he made an LLC. His name's really close to Whiskey Business. So anyways, it still says Whiskey Business on it. I get to see the buses all the time. He lives on the backside of the 50 acres that I live on. It's still kind of part of the brand, a little bit.
Yeah. So that's actually super cool, being able to keep it in the family and surrounding yourself with family. I'm sure that's great for more than just parties. Anyway.
Yeah, and that's always kind of cool too when I can hit them up, say, hey, you got a bus for a limo available tonight. We haven't used one in a while, but that's how it all started, was just hauling my buddies around, and then I wanted to just be legit.
Yeah. But so how'd you get into the UTVs, the truck building, stuff like that?
Well, so I raced ATVs for a long time. Dude, I'm from middle of nowhere, Missouri. The town I was born, raised in, it's 3,000 people. I live in a town now with 200 people. I've just always been from the sticks, and I like it that way. I've been riding ATVs ever since I could walk, and got into the racing side of it, just kind of as a rowdy kid. That was about the only thing I cared about. The only thing my dad could punish me with, you know what I mean? There was no phones really to take away back then, or iPads. It was my four wheelers. So, I got to acting out. He'd take that thing away from me. So anyway, got to racing it, and kind of fell in love with it. I was never really a team sport kind of kid. I didn't really I didn't like losing because somebody didn't pass me the ball, or I missed the shot, or I had to rely on somebody else. I didn't get the chance to miss the shot or whatever. So with ATV motocross, it was all me, and I liked that. And so I did pretty well at it, and it just evolved into side-by-sides, and 2008, first Razor came out. I went to my local dealer here and bought one. I've had one ever since, multiple of them, ever since. So just kind of grew with the sport.
Because you just raced King of Hammers, right?
Yeah. Yep.
How was that?
Fucking dude. That's what I was telling the guys, man, the BRUNT guys, the whole team. I was like, man, you guys you guys got to check it out. Well, first of all, I could not believe you guys would do stuff like NASCAR, and there was no, BRUNT teams or trailers or anything out there. I couldn't believe it. And I was like, we got to change that, but dude, it is, I've done this little race. I've always known that this side-by-side racing stuff that we're doing here, it's some backyard bullshit, right? I always say hey, if me and you go shoot some hoops in the backyard, I'm not a basketball player. You know what I mean? If we go race these side-by-sides at a local event with, 5,000 people, 10,000 people, whatever, we're not professional side-by-side racers, right?
Right.
Out there, 200,000 people there. That is as big and professional as it gets. And to be a part of a team out there was sick, dude. We went and pre-ran. I mean, everything you can imagine. I woke up every morning. I had a schedule printed out for me, where I was supposed to be, when I was supposed to be there, what was on the menu that day to eat. I mean, everything was dialed, as big as it gets.
That's crazy too. I mean, I don't know if you've ever felt this before. I haven't, but did you feel like you made it? Like you're a professional now? Like this is
Bro, I felt like and this happens in my life a lot, to be honest with you. I'm very fortunate. Like I had a moment even at the NASCAR races. I'm like, dude, how did I get here? This makes no sense. I don't deserve this. What the? Because I made some funny videos and I got a little number next to my name. Now I get this. This, you know what I mean? It's crazy. I still feel like this kid, this that doesn't belong in doing my own stunts, because it was a way that I could feel important and feel cool, and now the world sees them and it is cool, it's just, I felt like, not really that I made it, but I definitely felt I was grateful, but at the same time, almost out of place in a weird way,
Yeah. Yeah. So you raced with a team?
Yeah. So CW Motorsports, they are the world's leader in remanufactured engines, transmissions, basically drivetrain parts for Polaris RZR. If you blow an engine up in your RZR, they're your guy to get it from. You can get one for a fraction of the price. These guys move mountains of motors a day. It's unbelievable, like the amount of them that they move through there. So they're a sponsor of mine, and they called me up and said, "Hey, we got an opportunity for you. You want to do it?" And I was like, "Holy shit, this can't be real." And honestly, it never really was like a thing that I wanted to do. I wanted to go out and just watch. That, I never thought I'd be put behind the wheel, and I did. And I thought I could do it. I thought we could do it. That was a whole nother thing. Like, we went out there, man, and seeing the stuff. There's a whole like cliff. The first day we got there, I'll never forget this. There's a whole, I don't know, mountain. I don't know what they call it. Hill full of rocks, huge boulders, and these guys are saying, we're going to come down that. Cody looks at me and says, "Tomorrow we're going to come down that and pre-run that." And I'm like, "Okay," got a couple cold beers in me and everything, and I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I bet we are." And he looks at me, he's like, "No, I'm serious." I'm like, "You can't drive down that with a RZR, Cody." He's like, "We're going to try." And I'm like, "Holy shit, this is for real, dude." And I'm talking like, dude, I've been around this stuff my whole life. Like, ever since the RZR existed, I've been around it. And I'm looking at this thing and I'm thinking to myself, there'll be nothing left of it if you drive it down that, And yeah, so we did. And I found out pretty quick we was out there with the big boys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was kind of funny. I did a podcast with Brittany Automotive not too long ago, and one of the things she said was, I asked her what's next for you, and she goes, "Honestly, I have no idea. I'm accomplishing goals right now that I never knew I had," and it feels like it speaks to what you said. With I just thought I was going to be a spectator, and here I am in the race doing the shit, and it wasn't even a goal of mine, and I accomplished a goal that I never thought I would even set. So that's crazy.
Yep.
Awesome. So let's talk about the TV show.
Yeah.
So how'd that all come about, and are we going to see more?
So pretty much, dude, there was like this I don't know, like a flyer or like, I don't know, like a ad almost that was going around on Facebook. It looked pretty damn fake, if I'm being honest. And if it was real, it looked like something I wasn't interested in being a part of. It said like, do you like mud? Are you a mudder? Are you a racer? Do you enjoy, are you a good time? I don't remember. Just all these tacky little lines, like, are you this? Are you that? Like, I was like, trying to sell me something that I know my role in, what I mean? Like, I like, trying to play it up big. Are you this? Are you that? And I'm like, nah, that doesn't really look like it's for me. But a lot of my followers are sending me this, like, you need to like, audition or whatever for the show they're doing. I'm like, it doesn't really look like my kind of thing, And, so my wife actually ended up filling it out, for both of us. She filled one out for her and one for me. And, I got a call, and this was actually in 2021 was the first contact I had with them. And, ended up setting up some meetings, some Zoom meetings and stuff like that. I did like 2 or 3 Zoom meetings, and they ended up calling me, and they're like, "Hey, just want you to know that you made the show, and you're the guy. You're like the main guy." And I'm like, "How do I go, dude, from being like not even interested and now I'm your fucking guy. Like, anyways, that's pretty much how it happened. After that, there was lots of phone calls, like with the producer. It's the same producers and the same crew that shot Deadliest Catch, multiple different shows. That's kind of like their main one that they're known for. And they came to my house. We hung out. I mean, we kind of became friends. More than like, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a job, right? But we kind of, if get the best side of me and really everything of my life and stuff, kind of hang out a little bit, and that's pretty much how it happened, dude. And they flew out here, and I had to fly out there for some stuff to LA, and yeah, it was a pretty cool experience.
Have you watched them?
The show?
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah, dude! Shit, well, I'm not gonna miss.
There's some people out there that won't listen to their podcasts, won't watch their show after it's produced. I was wondering if you did.
I could see maybe not listening to like every podcast I've ever done. You know what I mean? I've done a lot of interviews and stuff like that. I could see not listening to that, but bro, you're gonna watch your damn show. I don't care. Like they're just trying to sound too cool if they're gonna say they didn't watch it. I will say, the dude who what is it? This Lone Survivor. I think he said he's never watched that. I'm like, correct. Dude, that's like one of my favorite movies. How could you not watch it? And you're the guy. So I'm not exactly buying it, but
yeah.
Do what?
Marcus Luttrell, I believe that's what it was.
Is that his name?
Yeah, I think he was the Navy SEAL there. I
want to say that it was his interview I saw, and he's like, "Yeah, I've never watched it," and I'm thinking, bro, that's crazy. Yeah, I think it was him, but yeah. Is there going to be more? Man, I hope so. So it's funny, dude. The producer called me just before I got on here, and I said, "Hey, I'm getting ready to jump on a podcast right now." And he's like, "Just call me when you get done." We've been talking. There's been rumored that we're going to do a season 2, and it will be more episodes than season 1 if it happens. And there's just been lots of good conversations, and maybe that's why he called me today, was to pull the trigger on it. I don't know, but we're hoping for a season 2. Yep.
Do you feel it portrayed you in the right light? Were you shocked by anything, or it was exactly?
Did you watch any of it?
I haven't watched any of it. I do want to watch it.
Okay. So I really enjoyed the show. I thought it was put together well. I struggle a lot with as a guy who makes videos for a living and edits and comes up with these, like I come up with ideas of my own. I struggle a little bit with thinking about what everybody wants to see. I think about what do my followers want to see. You know what I mean? So I struggle with that a little bit. I also struggled with TV. I don't flip channels. You know what I mean? I like, if I have any time, I'm going to Netflix. I'm turning a movie on. That's it. Like I'm not, I guess I'm doing that on my phone, scrolling on my phone. But so every episode you have to kind of like reintroduce like goals and characters and things like that. You know what I mean? And that was difficult for me because I watched every episode. Other people watch every episode and they're asking me, how many times are they going to say this about you? Or how many times are they going to say this about this guy? I'm like, yeah, I know it's kind of repetitive, a little excessive, but it's also not if somebody's flipping and then they stop and then who's this guy? Well, they know, because I tell you in every episode who I am and what I'm doing and stuff. But overall, I was super happy with how it turned out. I got to really kind of be me, there was no, we need you to act this way or act that way. And I don't think they did that with anybody. From what I saw.
Yeah, the boys came back and they were telling me all about it, and you guys just got back. I hadn't had a chance to watch it, but I do want to watch it and want to watch it with the kids too. Is it kid friendly?
Yeah, episode 2, there's a little bit of kind of adult stuff. Obviously, it's on Discovery, so everything is it's going to be for kids, but. Episode 2, there's a little bit more raunchy stuff, girls like it's right next to Paychecks. I don't know if you've ever been there, but that's where that's shot at. And it's kind of the wild, side of the off-road world.
My son will like it then.
Oh yeah. He'll love it.
So, the truck is, you brought it to NASCAR. That thing is enormous, unbelievable.
Yeah.
What was the inspiration there?
Um, I've been wanting something like that for a while. My wife and I went out to SEMA, this last SEMA show, and main reason to go out there and hang out with some of our sponsors and stuff. We stood in some booths and did all that, and then we were also like sizing up some trucks because I wanted to build something like that or buy something like that, and got home and just happened to see one of them came up for sale, and it was actually a super good price. I called the dude. I was like, there's no way that this, like the price that you have on this, that this is like everything's good with it. It needed some stuff, and so actually that we just got it picked up from the night before from that race, the night before the race, just got it all picked up from getting a bunch of stuff done to it, getting it all lined out and everything. So it's finally in good order. There's still a project like that. I don't think ever ends, but it's at least where I feel it can be out in public now.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of length to that. The lift is insane, and I remember my days of working on lifts like that and shit. You go through ball joints, you go through all sorts of shit that that just prematurely wear because you've now overextended the capacity of the vehicle. So no, it's a cool looking fucking vehicle. Did you buy it all lifted, or did you do the lift yourself and the paint and all that?
Overall, it looked like what you see. I mean, the stuff that I did was I did put my name on the side of it. It had the wrap, but I put my name on the side of it. The stuff that I did was like stuff that your typical SEMA truck. These guys make all these viral videos walking around, Bluetooth drive shaft, blah, blah, blah. Look at this wiring, look at that light, whatever. It had all that. Everything was my 7-year-old probably could have wired things better. And I get it because like a lot of these guys when they go around making those videos, I know they're doing it like so they get a good video. But at the end of the day, these guys are building trucks for a living every day, all day. They don't really have time, and it's kind of like a rush to get SEMA truck done every year, and it needs to sit there and look pretty. Everything doesn't necessarily have to function, so a lot of the stuff that was on it didn't work. The stuff that maybe it did at one point in time, the wiring was shit on. Like you could tell they just strung it fast and zip tied it up, and all that stuff needed to be addressed, to say the least. So
I've caught a couple of videos on like the dark side of SEMA builds, and obviously, you got wires zip tied to fucking brake lines and shit, and I mean that's just the tip of the iceberg. But no, I mean when you're under the gun like that to get something ready, at the end of the day, it doesn't have to be 100% functional, or you're gonna roll it off a trailer and put it in front. No, it's interesting. Sweet.
I obviously it would be in a perfect world they would have plenty of time and they could do that, but most of the time it's the shop's truck or the owner of the shop's truck. It's rarely is it a customer's. Like usually the customer shit's getting the priority, and they got to rush to get this thing done just to sit there. Now, not always, but that's usually the trucks that you're seeing filmed or whatever.
Yeah. So one of my last questions, and I like to get your mind going, is what's next for you guys? Obviously you and your wife are partners and putting a lot of shit together, but what's, you've done TV, you've built businesses, you're successful on social media. What's next for you to accomplish?
Yeah, man, dude, we don't really have like a plan, per se, to be honest with you, dude. We're just trying to live, be the best parents we can be as happy as we can be. You know what I mean? And while doing that, I want to put smiles on other people's faces. I want to motivate other people. It's tough, dude. I want to just make the best of the little bit of time that I have because we're so busy. It's just tough to kind of not get overwhelmed with everything. And it's kind of just a cliche, tacky ass thing to say, but that's the truth. We're just so fucking busy. Like if I would have set out to try and find a TV show to get on, I probably would have never done it. But if I just kept being me and just kept doing what I wanted to do and just trying to make good videos and, live a happy life, it fell into my lap, and I think whatever, like hammers, same thing. Like it just happened. Like that wasn't a part of the plan. I do have like scheduled videos, big videos. I've got stuff I've been working on for months out here, you know, that just isn't complete yet. So obviously I know some of that stuff needs done, but overall, dude, we're just going to be chilling, try to, you know, live.
No, and actually that's not cliche, because coming from another parent, like I'm doing a lot with Brunt. I was doing a lot with my last job. There's never enough time to spend with your children and family and whatever, or to get, you know, your small tasks accomplished, whether it's fucking organize the garage or fucking,
Yeah.
you know, edge the front walkway. So no, I totally get it. I don't think that's cliche at all. Because you put so much time, energy into the business side of things and whatnot. I think that's, you know, free up some more time, make things run a little bit more automatically, and you know, make the process a little bit more streamlined is a fucking good way to look at
That,
things.
dude, that is exactly where my head is, dude. Like our merch stuff, I have got to get it more automated. You know what I mean? Like, anytime we've ever tried, it hasn't worked with these different companies, and it's just, we have to get it more automated. I spend way too much time in the merch shop. Paige spends way too much time in the merch shop. Like, and it's not that we don't want, like, it's not that like I'm looking for the easy way out or anything. It's just, it's actually quite literally the opposite. It's the hardest way. Like I want to, this is too easy for me. Like I need something harder. I need to be building the most ridiculous contraption I can come up with, making the most viral video that I can make, spending more time on my editing, whatever it may be, putting my efforts and my skills into that side of it, and get this, you know, the merch stuff a little more automated. You know, that definitely is something huge for us we need to get done.
Totally. Well, if anybody wants to dig into the life of Whiskey Biz, or Bryce, as we that's your government name, I guess now. Bryce.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's my government name, right? Yeah.
But yeah, if they wanna follow you, if they want to ask you questions, where can they find you?
Oh, dude, I'm your mom's favorite TikToker. So just ask her who she watches. You know what I mean? She'll probably say me. But no, I'm on all social media platforms. I'm Whiskey Biz on everything. You can find me. So, yeah, man, I appreciate you having me on, dude.
Dude, thanks for coming on. This has been awesome. Appreciate it.
Heck yeah.